Happy Thursday, January 20th, guys. Live stream pre-tip show for Thursday. Bunch of basketball on today. I think what we're going to do, because the video wasn't long enough to go through like the picks with a little more depth. So I think run through the picks real quick, and then I'll just start with like premier games and stuff, and then just any games you guys want me to go over in the chat. And any insight you guys have to add, just start spamming the chat, and then we'll just go through it in a few minutes. But let me just run through UMass. I love the spot for UMass. +4, +140 to open, down to like 2.5 or +125 or whatever now. I think you're still good. Maybe just out of respect for like a Jim Jimerson winner, take a little bit of UMass +2.5. But I think UMass wins this game without St. Louis, without their leaders. I just think it's going to be really difficult for them to stay defensively sound. There's going to be a bunch of open threes for like Rich Kelly. TJ Weeks is going to score a bunch. Yuri Collins is going to be lost on defense. Just Francis Okoro and Hargrave Jr. or whatever, not the guys you want, like win condition White's Nesbitt, not ready. It's just they need their leadership. What's up, bro? What's one unit for me? I mean, this is my job. So I don't know. To be honest, I had some troubles with security-wise in like midway through last year. So like, nah, I'm not disclosing anything about that. But this is my job. Like yeah, I don't know. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer who then worked for like a big fashion company as a strategic analyst for like a long time, and then I quit my job and I'm in Vegas, so I live like right next to Red Rock. That's what's out that window right there. So I support like a house and stuff, and like I'm not young, I'm old. I live alone because my girlfriend left during COVID, whatever. But yeah, I support a house with it. So, appreciate you, brother. But yeah, I mean, enough to support a house. A lot of times when you see me like not have pancakes for a while, like just to be a little more transparent, not as many people are going to watch this as the TikTok stuff, so I feel like I can say it. To be more transparent, like when I don't have picks for a couple days or when the pancakes like aren't there for a while, that's because somebody's paying a lot of money for them. And I just like, I refuse to, the people that email me about ads and shit for this, I just refuse to do it. But back to the picks, and then let me know. But thank you, brother, and let me know what questions you have about games. But I think the Knicks just have a great matchup for toughness. How much they're sharing the ball right now, I don't think there's always going to be a defensive weak link, whichever guard when Graham's in the game, like just punish him, punish whatever the weak link is on the defense, and then just like toughness, offensive rebounding. Like, just feel like it's going to be super difficult. Where do the Pelicans stop the Knicks tonight? Just whatever they want, right? And then like the boneheadedness of the Pelicans is kind of amplified against the Knicks. Like regular season defense where they're trying a little harder. Some of the younger guys, Thibodeau pushing people. I mean, I think it's just a really awesome spot for the Knicks. Obviously, it's up now to -175, stuff like that. I don't know, man. I feel like it's still probably good. Santa Clara just is super, super wide. So like St. Mary's is like a bunch of St. Mary's is very similar to like Cal Baptist. Those are two similar teams where it's like heady, white guard play, like not as athletic, but like we're gonna punish you on cuts, we're gonna punish you on missed assignments, we're gonna punish you for like however much space. I don't know, man. I haven't liked how Ingram's been playing lately. And I don't know about like RJ Barrett defensively. Like what that doesn't I don't know, but Randall is another guy that'll be like kind of in that space. I think Ingram will have opportunities, but that's like even better. Like if they go like super uber reliant on Ingram, I don't know. He hasn't been this good this season. I was actually really hoping for like a monster season out of him, and he hasn't been. So, yeah, what is the under? for like points? Is it like a lot or a little? Is it like high 20s? I don't know. I don't play totals, I really don't play totals much, and I don't play props and stuff like that. Like my strength, if you notice, I play a lot of money lines. My strength, I think, is figuring out who's going to win. Like that's what I like to spend the most time on, is who I think is going to win. Santa Clara matchup. As soon as Jaden Badeko comes back for Santa Clara, you just start playing Santa Clara every single time, because with Badeko, the brother of the freshman on Alabama, he's like super underrated because he's got the retro specs on, so people don't respect him as much of a rim protector he is. He's good. Oh, I'll definitely hit Indiana for 2, dude. Sitting at 22.5 right now. I don't know. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be on like a Brandon Ingram over in this spot. I think the Knicks are a great play. Market has decided that, the 2 or whatever they laid last night, 2.5 is way too freaking short. I hammered minus 140. Hold on. I'll get to these. Hold on 1 second. You guys just line those up and I'll get to them in a sec. Let me just finish these. Santa Clara, but they're going to have like Jalen Williams, the huge guard. He's like a 6'6" guard, a little bit of a hunchback guy like I'm doing right now. He should have a clear lane. PJ Pipes. This is just an unbelievably underrated team. Santa Clara went and won at St. Mary's last year. And Santa Clara is better. St. Mary's is the exact same team. Why can't they do it again? Like, yeah, not having Badeko is annoying. But, like, Vrancic is the best player probably on the court, or Williams. Like, we have, like, the 2 best players on the court at a plus 360. Like, maybe just defensively sound assignment-wise, it just completely falls apart, but that seems absolutely ridiculous to me. SEMO, I just think SEMO is 2 kind of volatile teams, but the more we have that's what I'm just sprinkling. I'm kind of, if you don't want to take SEMO, don't take SEMO. I'm in love with SEMO. I think that Philip Russell freshman is going to be a stud. And by the time SEMO's a stock that over the next few years we'll be buying, because this Philip Russell freshman is a kid we've identified is going to lead SEMO to a lot of wins over the next few years. So this is like a stock, right? We're going to watch it over the next few years as this kid develops. I really, really like Philip Russell. If you get a chance to tune into SEMO on like ESPN Plus or something, you'll see he's like a freshman point guard, makes his mistakes, but he's a stud. Cal Baptist against Tarleton State. Tarleton State, bunch of crazy guards. It's like almost all guards, like between like 6 foot, 6'7", maybe they have like 1, and they just like fly around, try and create turnovers. None are skilled, and it's just habit craziness. Awesome coach though, Billy Kennedy, just needs to get more and more talent in there, and slowly, like, Tarleton State's another program that's going to be on the rise, but probably a little overvalued now because nobody had to deal with that defense, didn't know what they were. Cal Baptist is a bunch of heady guard. It's like St. Mary's. Like if St. Mary's played Tarleton State, they just carve it up. It's like we can pass the ball. We can hit our free throws when you foul us too much, stuff like that. That's Cal Baptist. Reason why this line's a little wider, their stud freshman, Taron Armstrong, whose brother Trey is a year older, he's a stud. They're like from fucking Tasmania or something. They're tough as shit. Have played overseas ball, all that, but they're from fucking Tasmania. They're tough as shit. That one's out. He's kind of like the star point guard initiator, everything. It took them a couple games. They lost a couple embarrassing ones trying to figure out, like, okay, again, we just had a year because he wasn't on them last year, but they're all young. So they had to figure it out as like all true freshmen during COVID year. Let's all figure out how to blend together. Then they bring in the primary ball handler guy. He goes out and they're like, oh, we got to figure out how to like redo it again after undoing it. It took them a couple games. I think they can figure it out here. They have like Elijah Thomas, who is actually coincidental. We just talked about St. Mary's, the St. Mary's transfer. He was one of those big wing guys they had alongside Fitz. If you remember those, I believe it was Fitz. Yeah, Malik Fitz. He's in the NBA now. He's on some bench. And they also have Aiken, who I believe is a UMBC transfer up front, but 2 more athletic guys. Toss is going to be a little bit no, not Toss. I just went back to St. Mary's. Oh, Tarleton State. Yeah, I don't know. They play good defense. They have good assist to turnover ratio. They're like, even without Taron, it hasn't been that bad. That Cal Baptist, I think Billy Kennedy is a really good coach. Other than that, I'd be absolutely hammering Cal Baptist too. I think we looked at Live Towson, similar spot as yesterday with Xavier going down to DePaul. We knew they were going to go down to DePaul. DePaul's feisty as shit. They clawed back. Something's wrong. Whoever I was talking to yesterday about Paul Scruggs, by the way, we need to get an insider on the Xavier campus to figure out to go interview Paul Scruggs. Be like, dude, what the fuck's going on? Your draft stock is just, and I love you, dude. You're a really good player. I think he's a really high quality player, and he is just tanking his draft stock. I don't know what it is. All right, let's go through some questions, and then I'll go to leans. But I think that's the whole card for today I put out, right? Yeah, UMass, Knicks, Santa Clara, SEMO, Cal Bappy, and then look to live some Towson. Enigmatic Charleston team. We bet UNCW. I didn't give out money line last time. A little infuriating, just like no Rockets money line last night. Just a spread. Come on, guy. I need more out of you. But just Charleston's so enigmatic, like so talented. But I honestly think, man, if you just removed the Underwood kid from the team, they'd be twice as good. Yeah, what is Scruggs? What happened? But I think they're super enigmatic. Towson, we like a lot long term. Probably still missing Terry Nolan. I guess we'll find that out if we get the live bet. But Charleston, huge runs in game team. Like they'll like go on a 8-0 run because that Rain Smith, a kid who's very good and will be good in the future. Another kid I believe is from Australia. Those guys are mentally tough. I like them. You see Australian kids coming to the team, we invest in that team. But yeah, I think Towson eventually just starts like a wave of draining threes and whatever ends up happening. Towson's really good, dude. Like that Rizzuto kid that's a transfer, between him, the Gibson, like these are like very, very good college shooters. Cam Holden is like an X Factor guy, kind of like a Draymond or a Jay Crowder more so. He's kind of like a college Jay Crowder, Cam Holden. So he's really going to be a problem. And then when you have Terry Nolan too, as like an actual guard that can play good defense, can distribute to people, just don't shoot as much Terry in big spots. Leave that to Anthony and Jason. But that team's really good. All right. Couple questions on what's it called? What we are Indiana, Purdue. Fucking trust Purdue as far as I can throw them on the road, making that Illinois game a lot hard for us. I don't know. Other people that watch Illinois, maybe if you like Illinois, you like Illinois. I don't like Illinois. I think Illinois is so overrated. I've watched Plummer for however many years, and he's been the streakiest 3-point shooter ever. So I'm not going to expect him now to just be like one of the best in the country. Trent Frazier, I mean, I like both their shots. It's like a sweet looking shot. Like Plummer almost like reminds you of like Michael Redd, that shot. You remember Michael Redd from the Bucks? Just silky. I don't know. It's like, and Trent Frazier's almost like an Isaiah Thomas or something. I don't know, but they just have to such high percentage. And Kofi Coburn, I can't go to for a consistent offense. So that kind of like the fact that game went and you just fold down the stretch, like Ivy missing free throws, just the guard play. That's the thing. Trusting Purdue guard play on the road, walking into Indiana, like maybe they get it done just because Indiana, it's a bad matchup offensively, right? They should be able to at least, like, how many options do you have to throw on TDR? TJD, Jackson Davis, whatever. How many options do you have? You have like Gillis first, maybe, but for a little bit, just to like Williams. There's so many different things to try and make them shoot like more mid-range stuff. Theoretically, like, Ivy, you have so many different things to try that it would make me think, but I don't want to underestimate. Like, I like Xavier Johnson stuff. So like that one's tough for me. Like, I don't know if it's, yeah, I mean, what are they going to do defensively? Yes, I absolutely agree. Because like, what is Race Thompson going to do? Because you can't put TJD on either of the big guys, because like, at least on Edey, because you can't have him get in foul trouble right away because has to be such a consistent turnovers, or I completely agree. Turnovers, threes, like they're going to need a bunch of stuff, because this isn't going to be a game where you're going to be like in Ohio State where it's like, we score 60 points. Yeah, see, Ivy's an interesting one. I don't have a beat on him yet because he's from, I've said this on previous ones, he's from what program? Akron. When I can't think of his name right now, but the Duquesne guy was there, and who is a great coach and a good identifier of talent. and like character, I think. So like long term, probably good. But so because just guard wise, I do think like if you make me pick between Xavier Johnson, like full package, not hitting threes, but Xavier Johnson and them, and like a Galloway and their toughness and stuff over Purdue, and how just like the poor decision making of Stefanovic, Hunter, all of them, I would 100% choose Indiana. But just like, how do you stop them offensively? Like, we're just in the Indiana. Like, if I take Indiana, I like want to lean that way. But even in saying leaning, it's like I'm counting on Purdue playing like poopy. Like, if Purdue's guards play well, really against like anybody, right? That's why they're not the number one team in the country. If their guards play well against anyone, just fuck you, you're done. Elon, what's the line at now? Is that like 6 or something last time when I saw it, plus 5.5? It's still around there. I don't know, man, because like in theory, Elon is like a team we've said in the past we want to buy, so I can never be mad at an Elon spot. Elon plays pretty good defense. They have a bunch of winners. Like if you go through their roster, that's something I do a lot. You go through their roster, a bunch of high school state champions, people like that. You look at who their coach is, a guy that used to be under Coach K, under Bob Knight, like old school, like let's play defense, play basketball the right way. The only problem is that this team, to me, like I just like this. I don't know what roles offensively like are optimal for these guys. Like even watching them, I'm like, because this McIntosh guy does so much, but he stinks. I'm sorry, to me, he stinks. Yeah, he is. I know, and I can't tell because now Pitt's playing so much better. So it's like, was that whole little crop that was recruited just a bunch of like turds, like Tony, Xavier Johnson, McGowan's, who's over in Nebraska now with his brother? Like, are they just turds? I'm not sure. That game is so volatile, that Indiana Purdue game. Like maybe that's something you can get a feel of for the game. Like you could like in game be like, who's making the more mistakes? What does it seem like at the end? Like who's just spoiling, leaving points? Because it feels like one of those two teams where you're just going to be watching. And yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time seeing Purdue just walk in there and beat the shit out of them with the guard play they've had. That seems like hoping and a wishing too. But I don't know. That's a really good one. I honestly just don't really know there. I think that's really good. In terms of Drexel, it's hard to take Drexel though with Butler still out. James Butler. That's tough for them against good defense already. Like it's like, how does Drexel shoot? Super reliant on that. And then do I trust McIntosh? Like, no. So I'm not mad at anybody for an Elon play, but I can't really take Drexel right now again. Who'd we take them against? They lost at home. I forget. James, against Delaware. I'm not sure about Delaware right now. All right, let's go a little faster. Boulder, fuck. I skipped. Hold on. Fairfield, I don't know. My lead was Monmouth just because of how they played against Iona. And I realized Iona didn't really play great in that game. They kind of gave Monmouth everything they had, right? Like in half court set, Monmouth was only hitting pull-up threes and like that Walker Miller guy taking these like, he like way harder shots than Yao Ming was taking and making regularly. And I don't think Walker Miller's Yao Ming. I'm just going to go out on a fucking limb and say that. So, but consistent, like same thing where it's like a 15-foot, like fadeaway kind of like push, like line drive. And it's like, well, if those hit at like a, 60%, 70, he was hitting them at like a 75, 80% clip. It's like, well, if he hits those at 75, 80% clip, it looks like the fucking Monmouth big's going to be dominating the NBA soon. So I get to watch that if I'm wrong. So that shit seems unsustainable to me, their offense, with Pappas being a crazy person. Like super individual good pieces, but I thought Shavar Reynolds would be a little better leader, and I don't feel comfortable taking them against a Fairfield team that if you've been around, we're Fairfield guys. I mean, they're fucking erratic as fuck on offense, and it's like shot making not. Like if that Wojcik guy, can you make some fucking threes, guy? You can win this game. I feel like Monmouth can put up 40 against anyone. They can put up 80 against anyone. I don't know, Monmouth. I was leaning that way. I wrote lean Monmouth just like I wrote lean Memphis because I thought like first glance I'm like Memphis is going to beat the shit out of a similarly erratic SMU, but they're at home. But like, why are you betting on it? why don't you just bet on something you think is at, like, instead of like leaving, like, we're just like, I think this will happen if not this. Like a lot of people like Figueiredo this weekend again. People are like, I'm betting that his one performance where he showed a really bad weight cut is now the new norm. And it's like the whole handicap is based off of Figueiredo not being himself at all anymore off of one fight. That's fucking a little crazy to me. And you're going to lay like minus 170 to do that. Boulder versus USC. We're USC guys. I don't want to bet against them, but honestly, fuck, I would probably go Boulder just watching the offense right now. We need to learn more. And like, it just feels like it's going to be a lot of like Mosley and fucking Chavez Goodwin forcing shit inside on like similarly big. Like that's why Stanford gave them such a problem. They have big. If you have size, you know you're going to give UFC a problem right now. I think by the end of the season, Peterson and Boogie Ellis will work better together. And Boogie Ellis will have like a little more like control of the offense so he can, you know, make things happen instead of having to be like, all right, let's give Mosley or Goodwin the ball from like, you know, 15 to 12 feet away, and they're going to have to make a couple moves, and like neither of them are very athletic. So what the fuck are we doing? And if there's big guys who can move their feet, Batty can move his feet on the other end, put it in, just drive it at their chest, Batty, and get them both in foul trouble. The Walker guy can pull you away. He's a much better shooter than he's shooting this year. We have some problems. Like Boogie Ellis, you got to play well, man. So it's a good test for USC. I like USC long term. I like Mosley as a leader. So I'm just going to watch, but that's really tough for me. Like matchup wise, you got to go up there and play in the altitude of it. None of those USC guys look like they're in incredible shape, especially Mosley's like a big win condition. Might get tough for USC in the second half. Great test. USC passed this test. Trying to scroll down and get like comments on this one. I'm still going to do this. Caleb Green was, that's bad for Fairfield. Okay. If that's part of the reason why Monmouth is moving, that's good. Yeah, main ball handler. They have like they struggle with like maybe the ball goes in Benning's hands more. Because Green, all Green does for them is just like steadies the ship, right? Like it's like he can't really do anything. Like he can kind of like if the other team completely blows defensive assignments, go in and get a layup. But like otherwise, dude, I don't trust that guy to do fucking anything. He just steadies the ship. So it's like other pieces. I don't know. I remember a couple years ago thinking that Jesus Cruz was going to be good. No, that was a hope and a prayer. App State +6. I think Georgia State's getting a bunch of people back. And like, because that's what happened to Georgia State, right? They've had this stretch, they've been fucking up. They've just had all their guards have been like between Allen. All of them have been out at different times and everything. Because like when Georgia State's all their guards are together, I mean, this is a group that's been together a while and they're way better than all the other ones. So I think they're getting more of those pieces back, I want to say. But if people want to take a piece of App State, I mean, I don't know. I don't like that App State team to me is so weird. Like with how long Justin Forrest has been there and how good he was as like a freshman or sophomore or something, that App State should be a good basketball team, like a Loyola or something. With the talent they've had for as long as they've had it, just like I'm not sure because they have like the Lewis kid's been there a long time, the Delph kid's been there a long time. Why aren't they better? I don't know. They just kind of have like these weird. They just always dribble the shot clock down to like 11 seconds and then figure out what they want to do. I don't know. They just don't make any sense to me, that team. Maybe that's why. Some of the two Suns versus Mavs, I know. I don't know. I haven't had it. I've been staying away from the Mavs. My buddy and I were talking about the Raptors one last night. I was like lean Mavs because of the matchup, even though I'm a big Raptors guy. But I don't know if I can trust them right now because I watched. Maybe it was just like an isolated thing because I took them for a bunch against the Knicks. I forget what day where they just completely just didn't play at all. Luka just came out and just was like doing whatever, just completely mopping. Maybe I just like overreacted to that. That's very possible. I don't know. I always think I don't like the Suns just because like I don't like Chris Paul whatsoever. From being like a hero when I was a kid on Wake Forest to now seeing him just be like the biggest like weenie on planet Earth. So it's like hard for me with them. I just think they're soft as shit. And I think Dallas is always underrated because the people markets, just like draft people, will never value people like Jalen Brunson or Morris and them enough. Defensively, I don't know. Are there any key injuries or things for anyone? Because that's probably pretty important, dude. Hold on, let me look really quick. Mavs, just Sterling Brown out, Vatuver, and Suns. No, Ayton. Oh, so we just got the problem with the Suns is who the hell plays defense on Booker and shit. Who even plays? Because Tim Hardaway, man, I can't do Tim Hardaway. I just can't do it, man. That guy anymore. He plays no defense and is so boneheaded, makes so many poor decisions. It kills me. I'm really not sure what they do. That's a problem in that game because nobody can guard Booker. Yeah, we're gonna have to play Frank Nicolatina, AO for EAO for a bunch of minutes. Dina, you gotta go to the bathroom, kid. We're gonna have to play AO for EAO all game. I don't know. I'm not doing. I want to play. So the team I like, not a great matchup though. Although in the front court is Kristaps is back. So we get a bunch from that. I mean, I ain't against taking them. Do I want to? No. I think the line's not that off. That's probably about right. Like the Suns by a game-winning shot or something. The Suns by a little bit is probably about correct. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's why UTEP is such a big favorite, like 9 points or whatever I saw last night. Nice info drop. I think UTEP stinks. UTSA stinks. UTEP stinks. UTEP has like some of the most anemic offense on freaking planet Earth. There's no skill on their offense. Their offense reminds me of Tarleton State's offense, very similar, where it's like when they're shooting, it's just like fucking, you might as well just like be punching it at the backboard and just like I don't know. I think maybe just do everything underhand, so at least it has a chance of bouncing straight up and you can get more offensive rebounds or something like that. But just their offense is incredibly bad. Oh, shit. Give me 1 second. I got to let me find the next topic. I got to pop the door open for Dino. Good old Scruggs. Yeah, Scruggsy Bugsy. He needs, I don't know, man. I really like Scruggs too. TJ Long at Fairfield. No, I have no idea who TJ Long is. TJ Long, maybe somewhere in there. I don't know, man. I've watched so much college basketball this season. I've been watching more because markets are just so inefficient right now, and I feel like it's just like a mess. Like, what were the Rockets doing as plus 13.5? How we had no money line kills me. But what were they doing as that kind of dog last night? I almost let that. I should have been on that for a lot more. I let that just kick me in the face. Do we have any other premier matchups that I can talk about real quick? We have at least 2 more minutes. Anybody else got any questions on specific games? Yeah, the problem to me, honestly, isn't Ivy. He's doing something he's not ready for yet. Like, he needs to stay there another year for sure. I don't know what he'd do in the NBA right now. He'd be such a hindrance on a team. Like, he'd just be able to play defense. That's basically it, because I can't have you shoot threes. I can't even trust you at the free throw line. There's not a whole lot you can do for us right now, Ivy. You need to get better at the other things. You just need to work on your shot in the offseason. But it's the other guys. It's like, why Eric Hunter? Why are you not becoming anything? Like, you had so much promise. That Stefanovic guy, what decisions are you making? Nobody, like, what are we doing? I have no clue. Just really poor. Wait, what's a good game I can talk about while I go pop this? I feel like we're getting an opportunity on Providence because of AJ Reeves probably being out. Now this line's dropping so much. We don't need to value AJ Reeves this much. I might end up with some Providence if this drops low enough. Just wait till game time and see. If I get like an 8.5 or something, it's just stupid. Because, like, you know, Bynum can play defense and big brother up on Harris, right? Why can't Bynum just big brother him? And then, like, the rest of the pieces are so much better. Like, Georgetown really is pretty bad at basketball. Like, I think we're starting to see that. Wow, -9s. Are we going to see an 8? An 8.5, an 8? I'm probably going to be on M Providence on that because that's seemingly too short. All right, let's see. When is South Alabama going to start playing like the best team in the SBC? This is a good one to talk about while I run to open the shit for Dino. Hold on a sec. All right, so South Alabama is a case of. Did you ever see what J.J. Chandler? Did you ever see J.J. Chandler when he was at Texas A&M? J.J. Chandler is a freaking crazy guy, dude. J.J. Chandler is a wild man. I don't know. Charles Manning, I actually kind of like. But they're a collection of, like, they're not good team chemistry, not great. It's like the same thing as, like, while they just trended back up a little better now, at some point, during the season, you were just asking, what the fuck's up with Arkansas? I don't know, put a bunch of guys that like aren't particularly team-oriented players together that aren't really good at winning either, and put them all together. It's like it's kind of like what in the mortgage crisis, you watch The Big Short where they're like, oh, they just put a bunch of the C-rated bonds together, and if you put them all together, you call them an A bond. That's like what Arkansas is. Still, even now, just like tons of talent relative, especially just guard experience. Like even if like you just see kids like nowadays, like even stars, it's like they can make whatever shot, but they just dribble it off their fucking foot. It's like stuff like that. So it's like these guys don't do that, which makes them ultra valuable now comparably, but you put it all together, it doesn't make it something better. Okay. So it's like the same thing with South Alabama. They're super volatile, high highs, lows. That's how it's going to be. It's not going to change. Can beat anybody, can lose to anybody. That's why we took like Tarleton State against them earlier in the season. They ended up taking one of the two, things like that. But against other teams, like especially teams that are more fundamentally sound, are going to capitalize on their mistakes. Those are the teams that'll beat South Alabama more. Stanford gets humbled tonight against the Arizona Wildcats? 11.5. Lord to God, that's a lot of points. But Arizona's a problem for me because, like talent-wise, I think they could be like the best team in the country. Like I love Mathurin. Like if he like really emerges as a late game closer for them, and then Kies whatever is tough. Yeah, that is South Alabama exactly. But they're not like high character ones to me. J.J. Chandler, it's like on my list of like can't play, can't bet on. Like I haven't taken South Alabama once this season because of that. I would have liked to in some spots. But it's just vastly talent over a match. But it's like, oh, if they lose, I just have to look at it just in your head. J.J. Chandler. Not to be mean. It's just like, I don't know. I think fundamentals, intangibles and stuff, it's just, that's just things you got to be good at. It's like hard work. It's just like you can control it completely. You got to check that box. What do you chill, Bill? Those are leaves being blown. I think Arizona can just do whatever they want if they want to. The thing why Stanford overachieves is because Delaire, if you think about that kid, he's actually had tons of responsibility in his Stanford career. He's had to play since a freshman, since like he just got on campus even really early in the season. Just because of like his talent, his like body type, whatever. And he just had to take fouls, get embarrassed, whatever. And he's slowly gotten a lot better. I actually think Delaire's pretty good. Like could end up in the NBA if he keeps trajecting like on the trajectory he's on because it's a steep incline. But McConnell's just a tough little son of a bitch, a little winner, a little Mike McConnell, a little TJ McConnell. Just these McConnells are great leaders in the college game. I mean, TJ McConnell's a good leader in the NBA game. But McConnell's like a true point guard, gritty winner. Maybe isn't like as talented as other true point guards, whatever that like Tyus Jones, these other people. But Jalen, the true point guard position is like gone. How many of them can you even think of in the NBA? Like how many true point guards are there? It's just a position that's leaving us. Like it's at the point where people like when they say point guard and stuff, like kids think of like Russell Westbrook. What the fuck? Like true point guards are just gone. So if you have one, they're worth a freaking incredible amount. UConn Butler, I don't know. I thought Butler would kind of hang with them. I think Butler kind of stinks too. There's just like a big gap between teams. And even though like theoretically everything, if there's a spot where Butler should get it, it's like, okay, too many points in a spot where They can put Thompson on Cole, but you just got to match with that doing them. They carved it up. It wasn't much of a problem as you thought. I don't know. I think UConn's overrated. The bigs should match. I don't know. You'd think they'd match up, but maybe they just stink. Maybe they just freaking stink. Maybe Butler stinks. I feel like Butler and Georgetown are like a lot worse than everybody else in that conference. Because DePaul, we can't put DePaul in the bottom tier anymore, right? We have to got to bump them up a little bit. I think DePaul's spunky as shit. They're really spunky. That David Jones kid is good. What are the odds that he stays there? What do we think the odds are? Any other premier matchups that are on tonight? Any matchups? I think Boise State, Utah State's fun. That's a serious test for Utah State. Idle Rock's back if anybody's interested in that game. I don't want to fight Boise State. I think, but I think that's like a spot where generally Utah State would win, you would think. They just went on such a drought, but I couldn't tell. I watched actually that Fresno State, Utah State game because I wanted to get intel on both of them and see how good that Orlando Robinson is because he I don't know, he's weird to me. If anybody else has an opinion on Orlando Robinson, let me know what you think. I'm conflicted on him. I can't tell what I think at all. High major, I mean. Wait, what was this in reference to? Sorry, dude. My brain. Not a fan of Dan Hurley. Yeah. I don't know. Any of these younger Hurleys, it was like fun for 10 minutes. And now I'm like, damn, you guys just kind of let people do whatever they want. What would make you be like, I just want a whole offense completely dependent on RJ Cole? There's no fucking way that team, even if that Dawkins kid, I actually think that kid might have stones. He might be really good. But even if he plays really well, it's like, I don't know with that team because it's like that is what caps that team so much that we're not like, yo, let's just give the fucking minutes. Let somebody else figure this out because you can't just handle the ball the entire time. No one else is improving. I get that. Like our best offense is going to be kicking it to like Pauly and them because, dude, Pauly from three is like when Pauly shoots a three, are you not just like if you're on UConn, you're like bang, and it's just bang. Like Pauly is an animal. How does Pauly get on an NBA floor? I would want Tyson Pauly. I feel like, right? Tyler. I feel like I'd want Tyler Pauly on my team. He's dirty. Sinogo, like good, bad, whatever. I feel like it's like almost like the big, like it's like favorable matchups and stuff where he's beating up on people that can't hang with him. But I think Pauly and like Whaley, I don't know, not Whaley in the same category as Pauly. Boise guards, yeah, they're going to be so big. Utah State's going to have to figure something. Utah State's a gritty little bunch, though, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. They're like a little gritty gang of, like, nerds to me. But I really like they have really good coaching. So coaching edge in their direction, even though Rice is a good coach. That game, either way to me. I don't want to touch either. I don't want either one. I don't like taking teams where the lead ball handler, it's their first game back. And like the most important, probably offensive player. He's maybe not. Bean is obviously, but just like working a guard back in, I really don't like that, especially at the NBA level because there's less urgency, more urgency at the college level because there's less games, obviously. But I do not like doing that. Like first game back, I'd rather not have somebody. If it's like a big or something, it's much better. But guards, you're just gonna have those like little turnovers and stupid things where you're like, fuck. And it's just like, that wouldn't happen most nights. It's like, yeah, I know, but you kind of knew because it's the first game back. Ever bet on Lafayette basketball? I went to Lehigh. So yeah, I bet on some Lafayette things. I don't know. But yeah, I went to Lehigh. So are we talking about LA Lafayette? No, they just beat Army by 14. We're talking about the fucking Leopards, right? You know we're the oldest football rivalry in the country? Lehigh Lafayette. Wouldn't you know it? No fucking way. No way, kid. Yeah, I went to Lehigh. I'm fucking old. I went to Lehigh. When did I graduate? Like 2012. But yeah, that's where I did engineering and shit. It was Lehigh. Good schools. I didn't like being isolated out there as much. That wasn't great for me as a guy. But What do you live in? Do you do the same thing where you live in New York City in the summer and stuff? You from that area? Yeah, I think I really haven't watched as much in basketball. I wish I could get behind it more, which is weird too, because I'm a year older than CJ McCollum, because he was like friends with, in my frat, all the younger kids were friends with him. So you come up and shit, a super nice kid. And like one of my buddies has a girlfriend really close. He's like still with the girl he dated in college. He's like a good dude, smart kid. Don't know why I don't follow Lehigh basketball. It's because both my parents went to Duke, so I grew up like 90s. So I had 90s Duke basketball, fucking Shane Battier, Mike Dunleavy, Carlos Boozer, kid. I mean, come on. Jay Williams, Chris Duhon as your backup point guard. Talk about a world today with no point guards. Fucking Chris Duhon as your backup point guard. Fucking spoiled. That's why I really like fundamentally sound and that's why I like fundamentally sound basketball, defense, all these things. I mean, that's what plays up today, especially more. That's why it works well now. Like if you can just do the little things when everybody else is trying to do a 360 windmill dunk over their back, through their leg, and up their butt, it works out. Okay, guy. Yeah. I'll be back in a little bit. One of my buddies has a kid, and then my other one's having one soon. One that's over in Rye is where one is, and then the other one I can't remember the name right now. I try and do that one first when I name them because I always forget it. But oh no, I'm from Jersey. I'm from Morristown. I grew up in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, but like Chatham, that's where I've lived growing up. And I lived in New York. Now I'm out in Vegas for a few years. Oh, yes, we did, baby. Yo, it was actually sick. It was like rioting. Like our version of rioting on campus, but like people throwing kegs down the hill, like jumping on cop cars hanging from what are those things? The telephone poles. That was a good time. It was a really good time, actually. That was a weak ass Duke team we beat. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the Jabari Smith. The Jabari Parker team lost to Mercer. Fucking Mercer. I forget who was on that weak ass team. Oh, nice. West. Okay, guy. I know where you're from. Hola. Oh, not. Well, good luck, sir. I gotta watch a little more Lehigh because I've heard from a couple different people like that still watch. I have a friend that used to play lacrosse there. Basketball team too. I went all right. Good story that only you guys will get because you're here. But I lived in China for 6 months after my junior year of high school. I left a little bit earlier over the summer, and then I have some family and stuff there. I'm half Chinese, so I have some family and stuff there. They set me up with a job, and I just worked there for like 6 months. And a couple of my buddies from Lehigh came while I was there, and a couple were on the basketball team and the shit we got into. But one of them was in an exchange program with the Chinese program. So he was from Seattle, and Chinese players would come stay with him. And then he got to go during high school and go over and live in China a little bit. And they did a little program for working, and you got to go on the different teams and play. So one of the kids was supposed to be the next Yao Ming, and Yao Ming had him under his shoulder. So for a whole summer in China, we had Yao Ming's fucking black card. We had his credit card, just went and did whatever we wanted. We were at like Mint, Bar Rouge, all the nicest places every single night, tables for every I went to a fucking Black Eyed Peas concert VIP just because we could. I would never pay for a Black Eyed Peas concert VIP. But good story. That was a wonderful time. So I bonded with those kids a lot. So I'll always have something for Lehigh basketball. And I'm telling the story. If I can still know nothing about them this year, I'll watch a little bit because I think they put them sometimes on like CBS Sports Network or something. But that was a good fucking what a fucking time in life. That was cool. Oh, I remember, my God. Yeah, I did at Lehigh. I mean, at those you had to do the frat thing. So I was in a frat. We got kicked off pretty early, actually. So it ruined a lot of my college experience. But of course, I did keg kills and mocos and stuff. That was one of the brighter, distinctly at that time. So I came out when fucking Kid Cudi was coming out, was when I went to college. It was fucking awesome. So all that freshman year, well, actually it was my senior year of high school that he released the mixtape with Dad Nunu and fucking all of those, like the Man on the Moon mixtape. No, the first one. whatever the fuck the first one was called, but with like Cleveland is the reason, all those ones, the prayer, all those. And then he released like the like wake fucking, why can't I think of any names? My brain's like, but the wake up, the soundtrack to my life, those ones, but like all of those Mocos, yeah, like T-Pain, all the above and shit at Mocos. Yeah, that was my section of music. Jason Derulo was somehow acceptable. Sean Kingston was somehow acceptable. It was actually a good time. I was there when they cracked down and kicked off all the frats. So that was my like we came in and everybody just started getting stripped. Like we were the two oldest, and those two fell while I was there. So that's why I went, because I knew it was cracking down, and they were like, "Yo, we're the oldest ones. We have the longest legacy, or whatever." And me and all my friends were like, "All right, we'll go to that one." And they ended up having all kinds of undercover shit that bad happened in like a few strikes, and they were done. And oh boy, were we a bunch of strikes. We were a bag of strikes, and we went quick. So all right, rambling storytelling. I got to go for a run in the park with the dogs because I'm so fucking out of shape right now. Any other questions before I wrap up on games? I think I hit all of them. Louisiana, Monroe are nothing in my head. Fucking Long Beach State, I wrecked, but now they're a favorite. I was going to give them their lead, and I was going to do it as could have just taken the 20 cents and just ridden it free. Just take the 20 cents, put it in our pocket, and walk away. Hey, anybody got anything else? This weekend, I'm going Titans for fucking sure. I haven't even looked at games yet. Titans for sure. I don't see a world with the Bengals. This is a year Seth Curry was on that fucking Duke team. You know the crazy part too? I think Philly's pretty underrated because now everybody still always rates them in their head as if Ben Simmons is still on the team, and Ben Simmons ain't the net negative clogging up the team. Like you physically can't win with Ben Simmons, right? So like now that he's off, people still kind of like have them like a rung lower when it's like, oh no, their potential is now here because they have Matisse Thybulle instead of Ben Simmons, and Matisse Thybulle is fucking awesome. Awesome, bro. Yeah, just appreciate you, and yeah, I'm gonna try and do like this is like my debt to the world. So I'm gonna fucking as much as possible. 1 to 1:30, I'll be sitting here, and at least 1 to 1:30. And good shit, good chat. And fucking oh man, enjoy those PA suburbs, my friend. Enjoy the Bethlehem area. My grandma, actually, I'm back there fucking all the time because my grandma lives in Bethlehem still, like right near the steel mill towers thing they converted to the casino or whatever. Oh shit, my buddy's calling me about the Figgy fight. Like he's like a wrestler. I will talk to you guys later. Hope everybody has a wonderful have a wonderful weekend, huh? Have a swell one.